Welcome into another edition of Game Changers. Mike Cunio alongside Steve Goldstein, Kim Beaucamper, the dancing Kim Beaucamper.
You're missing the music.
Hey, you got to go to the flow.
Get with the music, bro.
Yeah. But see, Beau's happy because the Dolphins are winning. You know, it's all good vibes around.
Yeah, we're not 0-2.
He's got his favorite shirt on.
We're not 0-2.
I need sunglasses to look at him in that thing. No, we're not 0-2. No. Dolphins are 5-1 heading to Philly this week. I do have a question.
They make that in men's, by the way, or
this is for the opening of Stone Crab season.
I do like that.
There's a Stone Crab somewhere.
You go to Joe's sitting in that thing.
I would. Yes.
Stand out like.
They say if I wear this to Joe's, they'll throw me out.
They'll throw you out.
You don't wait in line at Joe's. I'm guessing you don't wait in line.
The bid for free.
I go through the kitchen.
All right, we're not going to fine you for the shirt because that's a good-looking shirt. But I do want to start with NFL fines. Look, at the time of this taping, we don't know yet if Tyreek Hill is going to get fined for the backflip with the prop, with the phone this past weekend. But he has been getting fined, he says, a substantial amount of money, like $100,000 for no socks. Is the NFL guys, are we taking just fines way too seriously? Is it out of hand, Goldie?
Well, I understand it from the NFL standpoint because once you open the door that you can wear what you want and do what you want, then the door is wide open. But what Tyreek is doing, to me, the door is not wide open. He's finding his mom in the stands and giving him a football. He's firing up the crowd. I absolutely love the guy. It's a bit much for me. I didn't think it should have been a penalty the other day. Yeah. But you know what? What this guy is bringing to the table, energy, that team was asleep after the first quarter. He's running up and down the sideline. Yeah, the NFL needs to sit down with Tyreek and say, hey, man, I know you're doing some of this stuff. We're gonna take it easy.
But he's getting fined more so for not wearing socks.
The socks,
this is ridiculous.
Look, you can walk around. You could look at every game, and I could pick out 5 guys on each team that have a violation of the whether your socks
That's
are.
That's a job, by the way. Each team has a guy that does that.
Your pads are above your knees. There's a guy, one on each sideline, looking at both teams and doing all that. But for what Tyreek is doing is a celebration after a touchdown that's genuine. That look. Every one of these guys has in the back of their mind what they want to do when they do it. Right. Most of them are never going to get there to do it in the first place. He gets there early and often. Yeah. And look, to me, I'm like you. Fires up the crowd, fires up the team. Remember, when he scored that first touchdown, they were down 14-0. The defense was catching people. They were getting pushed around on the line of scrimmage. All of a sudden, Tyreek catches that ball. The whole world opened up in the secondary, and it's just like pick you up here, throw over there, and all of a sudden the game changed completely. If it's me and I'm Mike McDaniel, if I'm Chris Greer, if I'm Stephen Ross, hey, you know what? Do what you do. I'll hit the fine for you. Be my man. Score touchdowns. Look, I don't care what you do after that.
You're absolutely right because it's fantastic for the team. It's great for the fans.
You don't think the fans are loving it?
The fans love it. My problem is with it, the NFL, it's a sport. Yeah. But it's also entertainment. Let's not confuse this. These things he's doing is good for the league.
And most of this stuff, by the way, the Dolphins are the greatest NFL celebration team ever because they score the most points. Right. And they come up with these things every Friday, after and during practice, and they don't get fined for any of that. No. So they are letting them have some fun. All those celebrations. And by the way, they are predetermined and they are choreographed and they're awesome.
And they talk about in the huddle before.
And the league lets them go.
So look at what the Dolphins are doing post touchdown celebration, all this splash. Look at Deion Sanders in Colorado. The splashy. Yeah. Fans want that. Fans want new. Welcome it. Fans are used to the area. Okay, the stoic NFL. Boom. No. Let's throw that out. Let's get a little more of this. They're paying a lot of money. Give the fans what they want.
I'll maybe give the NFL this. It's not like the Joe Horn thing.
Give Mike to go in his head and spin around like a top.
Where you hide a phone.
Predetermined props. No, not allowed.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
No predetermined props.
But if you grab someone's cell phone in the stands and take a selfie.
Wasn't even in the stands.
That guy had an NFL vest on. He had an NFL hat on. And they use phones. These guys now, all these teams use cell phones to do all their
They should be paying Tyreek. He gave them their best content so far this season for free. Tyreek didn't send the invoice.
How many people were waiting, looking on the internet to when am I going to see him do the backflip with the phone?
Right. I want to see how fast it was. By the way,
20 minutes. I'm driving back 20 minutes in the post-game show. That's all they're talking about.
Yeah. Right? All right, we got to talk about a different kind of money. Let's talk about a little bit more serious topic. Christian Wilkins. This week he had his first first two sack day of his career, and it looks like he's going to earn some big money in the offseason. Goldie, I'll start with you. Should the Dolphins now have paid him before the season started, considering now if he keeps playing at this rate? It was off to a little bit of a slow start, but if he continues at this clip, they may have to owe him a little bit more than they would have.
And that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I don't mind waiting and seeing what you do. It was interesting. We talked to Vic Fangio during training camp. He talked about Wilkins, and he said, in the defense I'm going to run, he can pick up more sacks.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people talk about the defense, but he is picking up more sacks, had the 2 sacks on Sunday. So, personally, I don't have a problem with it. Let's wait and see, and if it costs you a little bit more, hey, you could have signed Tua instead of picking up the 50-year option this past spring. Yeah. How's that looking now? You know what, you'd have to pay him
a lot
after this year, assuming, knock on wood, he's healthy all year and they keep winning. So, I don't have a big problem with it. No, it's going to cost him more, though. You're 100% right.
Well, look, I would beg to differ a little bit. He had a great game last week. He didn't earn himself any money the 4 weeks before that.
Right.
He really wasn't doing much, and he wasn't playing up to a Christian Wilkins type. Look, I'm used to seeing Christian Wilkins every snap somewhere in the backfield creating angst back there. We didn't see it in the first 4 weeks. Now, he had a big game this week. Let's see if he can continue to do it within this scheme. And I like him, but I don't know that. Look, if I'm the Dolphins right now, I'm thinking 2 things. In the middle of this season, let me get Tua on a long-term contract right now, and let me get Wilkins on a long-term contract right now. Let's not wait till the offseason when the price is going to go up and up and up, and get it done now. But look, it's up to them. But you got those 2 players. You want to lock them up and have them on a 5-year deal, but as soon as possible.
It's amazing because 6 months ago there were some out there that talking about Tua said don't even pick up the 5th year. And move on. Incredible.
That's a big O's and guys.
We're not going to move on from Tua. This is a subject.
Big I don't know.
Our next topic is something Goldie sent me over the weekend. He goes, "Hey, I got a topic for game changers: Tua or Jalen Hurts." Talk about this week for their game Sunday Night Football.
For any game. You're playing a game right now. You're lining it up right now.
You got to have
a pickup game.
You got to have one quarterback. Here are their numbers so far this season. Tua doubling them up on touchdowns. The interceptions not looking good. That ratio for Jalen Hurts not looking good. But we know he's been in big games. We know he's won big games.
He's a winner.
He is a winner. All right, Bo. So I'll start with you. I think you threw your board.
No, that's your board.
Yeah, this is a board game.
I
That
board game
came up with.
You go first.
I'm gonna go with. Where's my camera?
There it is.
Tua.
All right.
Tua. Right
Why,
there.
Bo?
Okay.
Why is Tua your man?
Look, because I think he's been playing well all season long.
Yeah.
I think he's learned. One of the most important things for a quarterback when you've got nothing out there, throw it away, live to play another down. And I think he's become the focal point of this football team, and he has become the entire leader of the whole football team. Yeah. Offense, defense, special teams. He's running the show right now, and I don't think he's been more comfortable in his skin than he is right now since he came to Miami.
Look at these awesome pictures. They were together at Bama.
The haircut.
And by the way, there's 4 Alabama quarterbacks in the NFL. Tua, and the other 3 he's playing in consecutive weeks.
Right, Mac Jones.
Last week, this week, and if Mac is still the starter.
The Bailey Zappi experiment.
He didn't go to Alabama.
No, he did not. All right, Goldie, who do you got?
Well, Jalen Hurts does such a great job. He's so strong. He's got guys draped on him. He can still make throws. He's very tough to contain, very tough to handle, but as I had on the board in week number 1, advocating Tua is the MVP. So until Hurts beats him, but it's close,
Dolphin
man.
MVP?
Yeah. No, he's the league MVP.
There you go. There we go.
But I tell you what, when things break down for Jalen Hurts, he still can make plays, but not very good at the end of the Jet game last week in that loss. And I I think that might have pushed me over towards Tua.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because
I think we were texting during the game,
when
right?
you asked me, I was saying,
you guys are you're playing this long.
Yeah. Well, you were busy working.
Where am I?
You were on the team plane having dinner. What do you mean? Where were you?
Eating the steak on the team plane.
I had a burger.
All right, so this is obviously a what have you done for me lately kind of league, and I was very much. I was thinking Jalen because of the big games he's had, big games he's played in, but I changed my mind.
Wow.
I did go Tua. And here's the thing.
Homers.
And here's the thing.
A little bit.
We're all homers.
It's the protection of the football, as you mentioned. When you look at 3 interceptions in a game, we don't really see that from Tua much in his career at all. So that is my difference. The difference is he's grown as a quarterback where he will get rid of the ball, but he wasn't that careless with the ball early in his career either. I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy does try some risky throws. Look at that Giants game.
Oh, yeah.
he believes in his arm his arm power. So yeah, I ended up changing my
You did, because by the way, Mo, his immediate text response was Hurts. Like it wasn't even close.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, but what happened in the Jets game?
Faith, right?
I think
he changed his mind.
He broadcast in the Miami market, right?
He changed his mind.
Are you calling me a homer?
I respect the fact that you could change your mind. So the end of the Jet game changed your mind.
The end of the Jet game changed my mind.
Fair enough.
But you got two names on there, so
I crossed it out because I wanted to show.
Right, you wanted to show.
I wanted to show that I flip flopped.
He had Hurts.
And
then he went to 2.
I'm all about transparency.
Right.
Okay.
Transparency here on Game Changers.
You should run for office in some capacity if you're changing.
I don't know.
Man, then you don't have to tell anybody anything.
All right, election year's coming up.
All
right, still to come on Game Changers. The Marlins made an interesting move at the top of their clubhouse this week. We'll talk about Kim Ng making an exit. No. Welcome back to Game Changers. Just when you thought everything was going right for the Miami Marlins, they do something that just makes you shake your head and go, what the heck are you doing? So here's a story.
Know where you stand on it.
General Manager Kim Ng had an option in her contract to come back as GM for 2024. The team said, we want you back. Apparently they offered an extension too. She said, hold on, what's happening at the top here? According to ESPN, the Marlins wanted to hire a president of baseball ops who would operate above her. She said, I'm good. I'm going to decline the option in my contract. Goldie, I know you're a big baseball guy. What'd you make of this? Were the Marlins wrong to go after a president of baseball ops and kind of disrupt the flow of things in that front office?
No, I don't think they're wrong for going after. I'm in the minority on this. This is the way sports is going. There's too much to do. Now, what they wanted those responsibilities of that person to be, if the report is true, that's a different story. If they said to Kim Ng, hey, you're not going to be the sole decision maker on personnel, I'm on her side 100%. Walk. I'm curious to find out the answer to that. But if it's just somebody on top that handles a lot of the administration thing, and you go out and make the Josh Bell trade, make the Jake Burgers, just stay in your baseball lane, then I'm not sure why she would have such a big problem with that, to be honest with you.
I'm with you. You know, a president, the president.
And we don't know the answer to this yet.
Most organizations have a president over the general manager. The general manager manages players and stuff like that. The president, he figures out who's going to sit where on the team plane. What are we going to have? What's the food going to be? They got all the ancillary, which quite frankly, if I was a general manager, I wouldn't want any of that on my plate. I would want to be focused on me getting the best players on the field that I can for my baseball team. Let someone else take care of all the ancillary stuff. I don't know again, I don't know if it's ego, I don't know if it's money, I don't know if it's prestige, I don't know what it is, but for me, look, I'm not saying she did the greatest job to begin with, but got him in the playoffs, got him to be a team where people want to go see him play.
I think the best thing she did was hire the manager.
Put some more people in the seats and got him headed in the right direction. Why you don't want to stay along with that and continue to build that? Good for you. You made your choice, but I don't see any reason why if it was me, I would never leave because they were going to hire somebody above me, which every corporate structure in the world of sports is basically set up the same
And
way.
by the way, it's still a tough job under a tight budget. And Sandy is out for the whole year next year. So maybe there's some of this that Kim Ng is saying, I got 1 year left. We made it. Let me go wherever she's going to go while I'm on top. I'm just saying, I'm not taking the whole thing, guys, at face value that, the Marlins messed up and they ruined a good thing. I want to see exactly, hopefully eventually we do find out what went on.
I think it could come down to the fact that if you hire someone above me, and then we know the world of sports, it's a good old boy, good old girl network. Like if you have your guys, is there a comfort level knowing that you brought in someone who might have a GM that they would rather have?
But they were going to give her the offer an extension.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, you could still get fired in sports. All right, let me ask you this, because look, as you mentioned, she brought in Skip Schumacher.
Yeah, that was a great hire.
I believe Skip's only on a 2-year deal. Do you think he might be upset about this? He's a West Coast guy. He's living here in South Florida. His family's on the West Coast. You think this might ruffle feathers with him if that's the guy, if she's the person Skip thought that's who I report to?
It's an interesting thought. I know there's people in the baseball world that think his first job, he just recently retired, did a great job, that unfortunately, this is a stepping stone job for a guy like, same thing when Joe Girardi, was here. Stepping stone to the bigger market. I don't know how close they were. It'd be interesting to find out. But certainly, from a stability, you'd rather things be stable when you make the playoffs.
Right.
If you can. But again, I think there's a lot more still to come out about this.
I think there's more because look, you've got a team that's been desperate to get to the postseason. They get to the postseason. They do all these things that we've been talking about, and now you're going to blow it up. So to me, I think that they feel that person above whoever it's going to be, whether it's another general manager or whether she would have stayed, can do more to get us. We got our foot in the door. We need someone that can break that door open and push us and get us right in the middle of the mix, not on the outskirts. And she was able to get you in there, get the next guy to get you to the next point. I don't see what the big ruffle is.
I just think at the end of the day, Marlins fans finally had something to root for. It looked like they were going the right direction, and then you decide to make a change like that. That's where I think people end up having the problem with it. All right, still to come on Game Changer, talk about the Miami Hurricanes once again, for the wrong reasons. We'll have that next.
All right.
Welcome back to Game Changers. The Miami Hurricanes have now dropped 2 games in a row. They really should be 5-1.
Let's say they fumbled 2 games in a row.
Yes, they should have been 5-1, maybe even 6-0. Bo, after what happened against North Carolina, it looked like another coaching blunder. Have you, as a fan, man, you could have taken the Georgia Tech game and just put that away. But now, after 2 games in a row, where coaching blunders have now cost you. Are you out on this coaching staff?
Oh, I'm not out. Yeah. But they're not. There's a discord somewhere in there. You can't have a game where your head coach, who should know better, allows you to snap a football, fumble it, lose a game when all you need to do is kneel down. That is. You can't defend that. Now you come out the next week and you're playing against a team. They got a short yardage down by the goal line. You got 12, 13 guys in the field. You can't figure it out. You got a coach in the middle of the field with his headphones dragging behind him, getting a penalty on him. What the hell is going on? Forget the players, forget the mistakes, forget fumbles, forget interceptions, forget catches, forget runs. What the hell is that coaching staff doing? They are out of control.
It's been too.
I mean, you look at that
for that level, it's been inexcusable.
You look at that sideline in the last 2 weeks, it has been chaotic.
It's no Mike McDaniel.
Everyone's pointing at this guy. Everyone's pointing at that guy. Guys are getting screamed at. Players are like, hey, what the heck? If you're a player, how do you walk into a game and feel confident that you're 100% ready when I know we're ready to go out and play? I'm going to put my helmet on. I'm going to hit whoever I see. What are those guys over there with headsets going to do? I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I was worried about that after the Georgia Tech game.
Yeah.
But it just seems, they're doing probably a good job all the other times, but for these 11, 12, whatever it is, games in those 3 hours, it's just not getting it done. And it's inexcusable at this level. This isn't D2, this isn't D3,
They're getting better coaching than FIU right now.
I mean, from a quality control standpoint, I think anybody's doing, honestly, a better job. And where are those? Don't they have some guys that just, hey, the clock guy, this guy?
They need a president of baseball operations.
They do. Where's the analytics guy?
What happened to the cat with the mustache?
Oh, he's just holding Mario. He's just holding Mario. He's the guy who holds it back.
But where's the 1 or 2 guys, whether it's a Gladys, like you have one job. Here's when we kneel. You have one job. Here's what we do on 4th and 1.
McDaniel has 2 guys standing right behind him wherever he's at.
Yeah.
And at a moment's notice, he can turn around to them and they'll tell him, this is what we should do. Analytically, this is what we should do. You make your choice.
Tell you what, it's interesting. One quick point, because we're talking about the Canes, but the most underrated part, everyone's talking Mike McDaniel, cool guy, great play caller. What he has done, assembling a staff with no ego. He brings in Darrell Beverly, brings John Embry with him, brings Frank Smith in, hires Vic Fangio, who is just a head coach who's been in the league forever. On and on. The way he's got that staff running, Wes Welker brings him with him. unbelievable job McDaniel's done assembling a staff. It doesn't get talked about.
Every one of those coaches is doing a really good job.
Yep, 100%.
We've seen Eric Spoelstra go check out how Mike McDaniel does it, and vice versa. Maybe the Canes should send someone over the Dolphins.
There's your answer.
All right, hey, listen. You're looking. By the way, okay, we got to get to the Canes schedule because listen, last year the Canes go 5-7, right? You want year-to-year improvement. Obviously, this wasn't going to be an overnight success. They've got Clemson next, also on their schedule outside of UVA and NC State. I think those are games they could win. They still got FSU, Louisville, and BC. There are potentially 4 more losses now on this schedule. Do you see the Hurricanes showing a year-to-year improvement considering what they have next?
Well, look, this season's not over.
No.
And if they go out and they knock off Clemson and they knock off Virginia and they knock off Florida State, then you can kind of wipe some.
That's not happening.
Wipe some of that. Wipe some of that.
They have to at least go 3-3.
Wipe some of that tarnish off a little bit.
Well, here's the key.
But the point I'm making is, right now where they stand, it looks like these guys are in a downward spiral that you can't come out of.
Yeah.
But there's an opportunity if you win a couple of those games and get yourself on a roll. But enough said. Easy to say, harder to do. Coaches need to participate in it also.
But to the answer to your question, yes, they're better.
They are.
They won. I mean, talent within the game, they beat Georgia Tech.
The eyeball test
and then you lost by 10 at North Carolina.
Yes.
So they are better than they were. Now the results may not be. I don't think they're beating FSU.
No.
And I don't think they're going to be Clemson. But I don't know what the record's going to be, but if you're asked, is this a better team? Is this a more talented team? Is this a deeper team? 100%.
I just wonder if 6-6, even though it's a better record, does that feel better?
No,
not at all.
No, not at all.
All right, more to come on Game Changers. We're going to see what is trending in the sports world. We'll do that when we come back. Bo, we've lost some.
Gotta hide my legs.
We've lost some. Look at those nice
Chucky, I'm doing it. Matthew, I'm doing a show. Okay, I gotta go. Okay, buddy. Sorry, I was talking to Kachuk. Talking to Matthew Kachuk. Sorry about that. Checking in with him.
Time to do what's trending here, and we saved this segment for the Panthers because they're a little flashy right now. Goldie, this one's. Oh,
you got the towel. He stole the towel.
He's for his golf bag.
He stole the towel. I was wondering where that towel was.
Pink.
Yeah, it's Saturday night, by the way. Pink the ring, breast cancer, Baptist Health, excellent. But yeah.
Goldie, Panthers coming back home after a little bit of a rocky road trip. So I got to ask you, what do you make of the cat? He's going to hit somebody with that.
Somebody, you know who.
What do you make of the cat?
I had a 70% chance, and you had a 30% chance. So yes,
I'm not as good as reach is.
Tons of new players that they're working in with these injuries. Bennett, Ekblad, Montour out. 3 playoff teams on the road. Played well on opening night, didn't play great in Winnipeg. Got the win on Monday in New Jersey, which is a real good team, a real good win. So I like the way they're playing. The big guys are scoring to start the season now. They finally get home. They just have to keep their head above water till Brandon Montour and Aaron Ekblad get in there. 4 new defensemen. That is not an easy thing in the NHL to incorporate.
You know what I love about the NHL? That preseason is really short.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're in.
Show up to camp and let's go.
You're out, and then let's get going playing. But let me ask you this. So they start off the first couple games, a little slow. Is that normal? I mean, what's the ramp up for these teams to get like I look at the NFL now, the way they practice preseason, all this. I know it's going to take them 3 to 4 weeks before they're tackling right and doing all the things, and then you can really get a good judge about who they're playing against and whatnot when you get about a month in. What's the situation in the NHL?
I think usually you give it about 20 games before you make a big determination, which is around Thanksgiving. But I think this year for this team, it's different because you don't have Montour and Ekblad. Gudis left as a free agent. That's the whole right side of your defense. I mean, they're replacing that whole right side, and you're replacing 4 of the 6 defensemen. And now with Sam Bennett out at least to start, and who knows, he'll be back very soon, but that's a big piece in your top 6. So I think it's different for this team. I think this team needs Bobrovsky to be Bobrovsky. He was Monday night in New Jersey, played really well, looked like playoff Bob. Keep your head above water, really, until those guys. You don't want to fall 8-9 points back like they did last year.
It made me sad after the win in New Jersey, after seeing Barkov not having Gudis to give him the high five.
He was looking for somebody.
So what about Spencer Knight? Where's this at?
Spencer's in the AHL. played his first game in 8 months, played well.
So are we expecting at some time he will come back as the backup?
Great question. They brought in the veteran Stolars.
Yep.
Nobody has to play backup in the immediate because the schedule is so spaced out. If Bobrovsky's on, near his top of his game, he's basically going to play them all.
Don't doubt Bob.
Don't doubt Bob.
I'm not doubting.
At some point,
you need a backup.
I need one of these for weekly. I need one of these for the fifth quarter. I need something I can just
I'd say this. You should get a Dolphin one.
Yes.
Overall, they're good in goal because they got 3 guys that you could put in a game and you can win with them.
Yeah.
So that is a good situation. But like you guys said, it is a long season.
Yes.
I mean, it's forever.
All right, I'll see you at the home opener this week.
All right.
This was a lot of fun. Another episode of Game Changers
like that, Bo.
in the books. The news people are here kicking us out of the studio, so we will see you next week on Game Changers. Can't take you
I like
anywhere.
that stuff. I like that.